Hey everybody, how's it going? Strange weather, huh? Here in Ohio, yesterday it was 50 something degrees and raining. Today it's 28 degrees and there's some, I don't know what that was, like sleet or freezing rain or something, and then it turned into snow. I don't know. Sign of the times. Anyway, thought I'd read from Hanok, chapters 72 through 80, which talks about the workings of our Earth, the original clock face, so to speak, about the sun and the moon, and the watchers, luminaries, the luminaries, they call stars. Don't like that word. Been learning about a lot of things. And the world has a great influence on many things. The evilness of it. Ugh. But anyway, this is the truth. And I'm going to read it. Here we go. As soon as I find it. The book of the council. Wait a minute. Okay. There we go. The book of the courses of the lights of the Shamaim, the relations of each, according to their classes, their dominion, and their seasons, according to their names and places of origin, and according to their months, which Uriel, the Kodesh messenger who is with me, who is their guide, showed me. And he showed me all their laws exactly as they are, and how it is with regard to all the years of the world and unto everlasting, till the new creation is accomplished, which endures till everlasting. Or is it in it? No, till everlasting. And this is the first, excuse me, I have a lot of sinus issues when I first, pardon me. Okay, try it again. And this is the first law of the lights. The light, the sun, has its rising in the eastern portals of the Shamaim and is going down in the western portals of the Shamaim. Goes through portals. Doesn't go in a circle. Goes through portals. We aren't on this ball flying around it. It goes through portals. Says so, right here. So those of you who still think that the heliocentric Earth is real, guess what? It's not. Okay. And I saw 6 portals in which the sun rises, and 6 portals in which the sun goes down. And the moon rises and goes down in these portals. And the leaders of the stars, the luminaries, and those whom they lead, 6 in the east, 6 in the west, and all following each other in accurately corresponding order. Also, many windows to the right and left of these portals. The first, there goes forth the great light, named the sun, and its circumference is like the circumference of the Shamaim, and he is quite filled with illuminating and heating fire. The chariot on which he ascends, the wind drives, and the sun goes down from the Shamaim and returns through the north in order to reach the east, and is so guided that he comes to that portal and shines in the face of the Shamaim. In this way, he rises in the first month in the great portal. The first month is not January. Okay. Actually, It's somewhere between March and April, the first month. Spring. Excuse me. Okay. The Great Portal, which is the fourth, and in that fourth portal, from which the sun rises in the first month, are 12 window openings, from which proceed a flame when they are opened in their season. When the sun rises in the Shamaim, he comes forth through that fourth portal 30 mornings in succession and goes down exactly in the fourth portal in the west of the Shamaim. And during this period, the day becomes daily longer, and the night nightly shorter to the 30th morning. On that day, the day is longer than the night by a ninth part, and the day amounts exactly to 10 parts, and the night to 8 parts. The sun rises from the fourth portal and goes down in the fourth and returns to the fifth portal of the east 30 mornings and rises from it and goes down in the fifth portal. And then the day becomes longer by 2 parts and amounts to 11 parts. And the night becomes shorter and amounts to 7 parts. And it returns to the east and enters into the sixth portal and rises and goes down in the sixth portal 31 mornings on account of its sign. On that day, the day becomes longer than the night, and the day becomes double the night, and the day becomes 12 parts, and the night is shortened and becomes 6 parts. And the sun mounts up to make the day shorter and the night longer, and the sun returns to the east and enters into the sixth portal and rises from it and goes down 30 mornings. And when 30 mornings are accomplished, the day decreases by exactly 1 part and becomes 11 parts, and the night 7. And the sun goes forth from that sixth portal in the west and goes to the east and rises in the fifth portal for 30 mornings and goes down in the west again in the fifth western portal. On that day, the day decreases by 2 parts and amounts to 10 parts, and the night to 8 parts. And the sun goes forth from the fifth portal and goes down in the fifth portal of the west and rises in the fourth portal for 31 mornings on account of its sign and goes down in the west. On that day, the day is equalized with the night. And the night amounts to 9 parts, and the day to 9 parts. The beginnings, spring, and the beginnings, fall. They are equal. Okay. I'm sorry. And the sun rises from that third portal and goes down in the third portal in the west and returns to the east, and for 30 mornings rises in the second portal in the east, and in the same way goes down in the second portal in the west of the Shamaim. And on that day, the night amounts to 11 parts, and the day to 7 parts. And the sun rises on that day from that second portal and goes down in the west in the second portal and returns to the east into the first portal for 31 mornings and goes down in the first portal in the west of the Shamaim. And on that day, the night becomes longer and amounts to the double of the day. And the night amounts exactly to 12 parts and the day to 6. What we're in right now, winter. And the sun has traversed the divisions of its orbit and turns again on those divisions of its orbit and enters that portal 30 mornings and goes down also in the west opposite to it. And on that day, the night has decreased in length by a ninth part, and the night has become 11 parts, and the day 7 parts. And the sun has returned and entered into the second portal in the east, and returns on those, its divisions of its orbit, for 30 mornings, rising and going down. And on that day, the night decreases in length, and the night amounts to 10 parts, and the day to 8. And on that day, the sun rises from that portal and goes down in the west, and returns to the east, and rises in the third portal for 31 mornings, and goes down in the west of the Shamaim. On that day, the night decreases and amounts to 9 parts, and the day to 9 parts, and the night is equal to the day, and the year is exactly as to its days 364. And the length of the day and of the night, and the shortness of the day and of the night arise through the course of the sun, they are separated. So it comes that its course becomes daily longer, and its course nightly shorter. And this is the law and the course of the sun, and its return as often as he returns 60 times and rises. The great light, which is named the sun forever and ever. And that which rises in the great light, and is so named according to its appearance, according as Yahweh commanded. As he rises, so he goes down, and does not decrease, and does not rest, but runs day and night, and its light is sevenfold brighter than that of the moon. But as regards size, they are both equal. Chapter 73. And after this law, I saw another law dealing with the smaller light, which is named the moon. And her circumference is like the circumference of the Shamaim, and her chariot, in which she rides, is driven by the wind, and light is given to her in measure. And her rising and going down change every month, and her days are like the days of the sun, and when her light is in uniform, it amounts to the 7th part of the light of the sun. And thus she rises, and her first phase in the east becomes 4th on the 30th morning, and on that day she becomes visible, and constitutes for you the first phase of the moon on the 30th day, together with the sun in the portal where the sun rises. And the 1/2 of her goes forth by a 7th part, and her whole circumference is empty, without light, with the exception of 1/7 part of it, the 14th part of her light. And when she receives 1/7 part of the half of her light amounts to 1/7 part and the half thereof. And she goes down with the sun. And when the sun rises, the moon rises with him, and receives the half of 1 part of light. And in that night, in the beginning of her morning, in the beginning of the lunar day, the moon goes down with the sun, and is invisible that night with the 14 parts and the half of one of them. And she rises on that day with exactly a 7th part, and comes forth and recedes from the rising of the sun. And in her remaining days, she becomes bright in the 14 parts. Chapter 74. And I saw another course, a law for her, how according to that law she performs her monthly revolution. And all these, Uriel, the Kodesh messenger, who is the leader of them all, showed to me and their positions. And I wrote down their positions as he showed them to me. And I wrote down their months as they were, and the appearance of their lights till 15 days were accomplished. In single seventh parts, she accomplishes all her light in the east, and in single seventh parts, she accomplishes all her darkness in the west. And in certain months, she alters her going down, and in certain months, she pursues her own peculiar course. Peculiar course. Excuse me. Lost a peculiar course. In 2 months, the moon goes down with the sun in those 2 middle portals, the third and the fourth. She goes forth for 7 days and turns about and returns again through the portal where the sun rises and accomplishes all her light. And she recedes from the sun, and in 8 days enters the 6th portal from which the sun goes forth. And when the sun goes forth from the 4th portal, she goes forth 7 days until she goes forth from the 5th and turns back again in 7 days into the 4th portal and accomplishes all her light. And she recedes and enters into the 1st portal in 8 days. And she returns again in 7 days into the 4th portal from which the sun goes forth. Thus I saw their position, how the moon rose and the sun went down in those days. And if 5 years are added together, the sun has an excess of 30 days, and all the days which increase to it for one of those 5 years, when they are full, amount to 364 days. And the excess of the sun and of the luminaries amounts to 6 days. In 5 years, 6 days every year come to 30 days. And the moon falls behind the sun and the luminaries to the number of 30 days. And the moon and the luminaries bring in all the years exactly, so that they do not advance or delay their position by a single day until everlasting, but complete the years with perfect justice in 364 days. In 3 years, there are 1,092 days, and in 5 years, 1,820 days. So that in 8 years, there are 2,912 days. For the moon alone, the days amount in 3 years to 1,062 days. And in 5 years, she falls 50 days behind to the sun, 50 days behind to the sum. There is 5 to be added and 62 days. And in 5 years, there are 1,770 days, so that for the moon, the days 6 and 8 years amount to 2,832 days. For in 8 years, she falls behind to the amount of 80 days. All the 17 days she falls behind in 8 years are 80. And the year is accurately completed in conformity with their world stations and the stations of the moon, which rise from the portal through which it rises and goes down 30 days. 75. And the leaders of the heads of the thousands, who are placed over the whole creation and over all the luminaries, have also to do with the 4 intercalary days, being inseparable from their office according to the reckoning of the year, and these render service on the 4 days which are not reckoned in the reckoning of the year. And owing to them, men go astray therein. For those lights truly render service on the world stations, one in the first portal, one in the third portal of the Shamaim, one in the fourth portal, and one in the sixth portal. And the exactness of the year is accomplished through its separate 364 stations. For the signs and the times and the years and the days, the messenger Uriel showed to me, whom Yahweh of esteem has appointed forever over all the lights of the Shamaim, in the Shamaim and in the world, that they should rule on the face of the Shamaim and be seen on the earth, and be leaders for the day and the night, the sun, moon, and luminaries, and all the ministering beings which make their revolution in all the chariots of the Shamaim. In the same way, 12 doors, Uriel showed me, open in the circumference of the sun's chariot in the Shamaim, through which the rays of the sun break forth, and from them is warmth diffused over the earth when they are opened at their appointed times. And for the winds and the spirit of the dew, when they are opened, standing open in the Shamaim at the ends. As for the 12 portals in the Shamaim, at the ends of the earth, out of which go forth the sun, moon, and the luminaries, and all the works of the Shamaim in the east and in the west. There are many windows open to the left and right of them. One window at its appointed time produces warmth, according to those doors from which the luminaries come forth according as he has commanded them, and wherein they are placed corresponding to their number. And I saw chariots in the Shamaim running in the world above those portals in which revolve the luminaries that never go down. And one is larger than all the rest, and it is that which makes its course through the entire world. Chapter 76. And at the ends of the earth I saw 12 portals open to all the quarters from which the winds go forth and blow over the earth. 3 of them are open on the face of the Shamaim, and 3 in the west, 3 on the right of the Shamaim, and 3 on the left. And the 3 first are those of the east, and 3 are of the north, and 3 after those on the left of the south, and 3 of the west. Through 4 of these come winds of barakah and prosperity, and from those 8 come hurtful winds. When they are sent, they bring destruction on all the earth and on the water upon it, and on all who dwell upon it, and on all which are in the water, and on the land. And the first wind from those portals, called the east wind, comes forth through the first portal, which is in the east, inclining towards the south. From it come forth desolation, drought, heat, and destruction. Excuse me. Where's destruction? There it is. And through the second portal in the middle comes what is fitting, and from it there comes rain and fruitfulness and prosperity and dew. And through the third portal, which lies toward the north, come cold and drought. And after these come forth the south winds through 3 portals. Through the first portal of them, inclining to the east, comes forth a hot wind. And through the middle portal, next to it, there come forth fragrant smells, and dew and rain, and prosperity and health. And through the third portal, lying to the west, come forth dew and rain, locusts, and desolation. And after these, the north winds, from the seventh portal in the east come dew and rain, locusts, and desolation. And from the middle portal come in a direct direction health and rain, and dew and prosperity. And through the third portal in the west come cloud and frost, and snow and rain, and dew and locusts. And after these 4 are the west winds. Through the first portal, adjoining the north, come forth dew and frost, and cold and snow and ice. And from the middle portal come forth dew and rain, and prosperity and barakah. And through the last portal, which adjoins the south, come forth drought and desolation, and burning and destruction. And the 12th portal of the 4 quarters of the Shamaim are completed, and all their laws, and all their plagues, and all their goodness have I shown to you, my son Methuselah. Chapter 77. And the first quarter is called the east, because it is the first. And the second, the south, because the Most High will descend there, even there. In quite a special sense will he who is Baruch forever descend. And the west quarter is named the diminished, because there all the lights of the Shamaim diminish and go down. Makes sense. And the 4th quarter, named the north, is divided into 3 parts. The first of them is for the dwelling of men, and the second contains seas of water, and the abysses, and forests, and rivers, and darkness, and clouds. And the third part contains the garden of righteousness. I saw 7 high mountains, higher than all the mountains which are on the earth, and from there comes forth frosts and days, seasons and years pass away. I saw 7 rivers on the earth, larger than all the rivers. One of them coming from the west pours its waters into the great sea. And these 2 come from the north to the sea and pour their waters into the eastern sea in the east. And the remaining 4 come forth on the side of the north to their own sea, 2 of them to the eastern sea, 2 into the great sea, and discharge themselves there, and some say into the desert. 7 great islands I saw in the sea and in the mainland, 2 in the mainland, and 5 in the great sea. Chapter 78. And the names of the sun are the following. The first, Aryares, and the second, Toma. And the moon has 4 names. The first name is Asonia, and this is the second, Evla, and the third, Venas, and the fourth, Arai. These are the 2 great lights. Their circumference is like the circumference of the Shamaim, and the size of the circumference of both is alike. The sun and the moon are the same exact size. In the circumference of the sun, there are 7 portions of light which are added to it more than to the moon, and in definite measures it is transferred till the seventh portion of the sun is exhausted. And they go down and enter the portals of the west and make their revolution by the north and come forth through the eastern portals on the face of the Shamaim. And when the moon rises, 1/14th part appears in the Shamaim. The light becomes full in her. On the 14th day, she accomplishes her light. 15 parts of the light are transferred to her till the 15th day. Her light is accomplished according to the sign of the year, and she becomes 15 parts, and the moon grows by 14 parts. And in her diminishing, decreases on the first day to 14 parts of her light, on the second to 14 parts of light, on the third to 12, on the fourth to 11, on the fifth to 10, on the sixth to 9, on the seventh to 8, on the eighth to 7, on the ninth to 6, on the 10th to 5, on the 11th to 4, on the 12th to 3, on the 13th to 2, on the 14th to the half of a seventh, and all her remaining light disappears wholly on the 15th. And in certain months, the moon has 29 days and once 28. And Uriel showed me another law. When light is transferred to the moon, and on which side it is transferred to her by the sun, during all the period during which the moon is growing in her light, she is transferring it to herself when opposite to the sun. During 14 days, her light is accomplished in the Shamaim, and when she is illuminated throughout, her light is accomplished full in the Shamaim. And on the first day she is called the new moon, for on that day the light rises upon her. She becomes full moon exactly on the day when the sun goes down in the west, and from the east she rises at night, and the moon shines the whole night through till the sun rises over against her, and the moon is seen over against the sun. On the side where the light of the moon comes forth, there again she diminishes till all the light vanishes, and all the days of the month are at an end, and her circumference is empty, void of light. And 3 months after, in 3 months, she makes of 30 days, and at her time, she makes 3 months of 29 days each, in which she accomplishes her diminishing in the first period of time and in the first portal for 177 days. And in the time of her going out, she appears for 3 months, 30 days each, and for 3 months, she appears 29 each. At night, she appears like a man for 20 days each time. And by day, she appears like the Shamaim, and there is none else in her save her light. Chapter 79. And now, my son, I have shown you all matters, and the law of all the luminaries of the Shamaim is completed. And he showed me all the laws of these for every day and for every season of bearing rule, and for every year, and for its going forth, and for the order prescribed to it every month and every week. And the diminishing of the moon, which takes place in the 6th portal, for in this 6th portal her light is accomplished. And after that, there is a beginning of the diminishing, which takes place in the 1st portal in its season, till 127 days are accomplished, reckoned according to weeks, 25 and 2 days. She falls behind the sun in the order of the luminaries exactly 5 days in the course of one period, and when this place which you see has been traversed. Such is the picture and sketch of every light which Uriel, the chief messenger, who is their leader, showed to me. First time I read this, I was so confused. Second time I read this, I understood a little more. The more you read it, the more you get it, the more you understand it. And all of understanding comes from chapter 80. And in those days, the messenger Uriel answered and said to me, see, I have shown you all matters, Hanok, and I have revealed all to you that you should see this sun and this moon and the leaders of the luminaries of the Shamayim and all those who turn them, their tasks and times and departures. Did you catch that? Did you catch that? Let me read that again. This sun and this moon and the leaders of the luminaries of the Shamayim and all those who turn them, their tasks and times and departures. And in the days of the sinners, the years shall be shortened, and their seed shall be late on their lands and fields, and all on the earth shall alter. Think that's going on right now? I don't know. Kind of seems a little like the weather's a little weird and things are a little strange. I don't know. Guess we'll see. They shall alter and not all appear in their time, and the rain shall be kept back, and the Shamayim shall withhold. And in those times the fruits of the earth shall be backward, and shall not grow in their time. And the fruits of the trees shall be withheld in their time. And the moon shall alter her order, and not appear at her time. And in those days the sun shall be seen, and he shall journey in the evening on the extremity of the great chariot in the west, and shall shine more brightly than accordance with the order of light. And many chiefs of the luminaries shall transgress the order, and these shall alter their orbits and tasks, and not appear at the seasons prescribed to them. And the whole order of the luminaries shall be concealed from the sinners, and the thoughts of those on the earth shall err concerning them. And they shall be altered from all their ways. Also, they shall go astray, and take them to be mighty ones. And evil shall be multiplied upon them, and punishment shall come upon them, so as to destroy all. Huh. Interesting reading, huh? One of my favorite books. So eye-opening. Well, that's all I have for now. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves. And see you next time. By the way, my last video, I stand by it. The deception is great in this world. Everything you know, unless it comes from here. The Kodesh books, the books of wisdom, everything is manufactured, not truth. Anyway, take care of yourselves. Shalom, shalom.